think maybe the scariest thing that ever happened to me occurred in a Burger King of all places. I was on a particularly long drive one time, and it was later in the evening when I started to get kind of hungry. I kept driving for a few miles until I began to see the signs of a Burger King. Hallelujah. Fatty, meaty goodness. I find the Burger King, pull off the highway, and park my car just outside. So as I'm walking over to the actual restaurant, I was pretty happy to see that there was no line. Not only that, but there didn't seem to be anyone inside the restaurant at all. It was as quiet as the grave in there. But frankly, that suited me fine. I was famished by this point, so naturally, I was in no mood to be standing in some long line. I remember seeing the clerk standing behind her register, just standing there, almost in a robotic way, not moving. But again, I didn't overthink it. I figured since they weren't busy, she could afford to kind of just take it easy. I step inside, walk up to the counter, and then freeze. Now, since this is not my first retelling of this, many people have asked me how I didn't notice the warning signs. Seemingly empty restaurant, server frozen to the spot, stuff like that. Like I said, it was late in the evening. I had had a long day and I was starving. My situational awareness was not at its best. And everyone looking at this with hindsight can just go screw themselves, because I doubt they're the Sherlock Holmes they think they are. Anyway, I get up to the counter, look at the server, and see she's been crying. She was shaking too. She seemed absolutely terrified. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I see something under one of the tables nearby. It only takes a slight turn of my head to recognize what it is. It was a person, lying face down, their fingers linked around the back of their head. And they seemed similarly terrified too, scared to even look up from this prone position. Only then did I realize something was horribly, horribly wrong. I just didn't know what, but thankfully, or not thankfully, I didn't have to wait long to find out. From the back of the store, a guy in a mask steps out from behind a fryer or something, a grubby-looking gun in his hand, and it's pointed at me. Phone, wallet, and keys on the counter now. I can't remember his exact words, but they were essentially that. He ordered me to empty my pockets, and when I did, he ordered me down on the floor, just like the other dude. I instantly linked my fingers behind my head. I had apparently interrupted him in the process of emptying the cash register, or rather, commanding the poor terrified server to do so for him, which she did. I didn't see much of what happened next, but I know he told her to put the money in a food bag so that he could walk out without too much suspicion being raised. But that's what logically made sense to me. Before he left, he told us all to count to 100 before we get up, and if we did, he'd shoot us through the giant glass windows. That pretty much made up most walls. As you can guess, I didn't get up. Not until I heard him screech out of the parking lot in a car. My car. Needless to say, that was quite the messy situation to follow up with for many months after.